Under the leadership of Rabbi Stephanie Alexander, the work of social justice is alive and well at Synagogue Kahal, Kadosh, Beth, Elohim, the second oldest synagogue building in the United States and the oldest in continuous use. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my friend, my colleague in ministry here in the greater Charleston area, Rabbi Stephanie Alexander.
Good afternoon. I'm so honored to be here with you and with all these distinguished guests and our musicians, and who've been asked to speak especially about social justice, work that is near and dear to my heart, and I'm proud to say one of the hallmarks of the Reformed Jewish movement to which I belong. What is social justice? Justice, we know. It may be in too short of supply, but there is a vision of justice that guides us and reminds us of that for which we strive. An understanding that so long as there is pay inequality between women and men, we do not have justice. That so long as states permit discrimination against gay and lesbian couples and individuals, we do not have justice. That so long as the color of one's skin impacts one's treatment by the law, we do not have justice. Yes, justice we know. But what makes it social? When we look to our shared biblical tradition, we realize it is the way of the world that all justice is and must be social. All justice is social because it applies to all of society. Genesis tells us that when the world came into existence, human beings, the pinnacle of creation, were made B'Tselem Elohim, in the very image of God. Look into the eyes of your brother and know the common humanity you see in his soul is nothing less than the reflection of the divine. Look into the soul of your sister and know that the differences you see are the unique and beautiful pieces of God only visible in the world because she brings them. There's no filter for race or gender or whom a heart loves. As the organization Faithful America puts it, love your neighbor as yourself. No exceptions. Justice is social because it is the birthright of every human being. All justice is social because it must be established by society. The prophet Micah teaches, do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. Do justice. Faith is personal. Mercy is emotional. But justice is a matter of rolling up our sleeves and doing the work. There will be no justice until we do justice. There was a wonderful piece in the New York Times a couple of weeks ago, written by David Brooks, called The Moral Bucket List. About once a month, the author says, I run across a person who radiates an inner light. These people can be in any walk of life, but just seem deeply good. They're not thinking about what wonderful work they're doing. They're not thinking about themselves at all. What attributes define these people, Brooks asks, and each topic he explores is worthy of address in and of itself. What struck me the most, perhaps thinking ahead to today, is the idea that such individuals commit themselves to tasks that cannot be completed in one lifetime. They do something with faith that there will be others to continue it after them, and therefore they neither despair nor celebrate prematurely. This approach mimics God's creation itself. Still working on the seventh day of creation with more work seemingly yet to be done, God nevertheless declared it the Sabbath and ceased from all the work of creation that God had done. How could God leave items on the to-do list, yet to be checked off? Wasn't this a dereliction of duty on a cosmic scale? The answer is no, because of you and me. Because humanity had been created, and with us a worldwide network of eyes to see injustice, and ears to hear the cries of the disenfranchised, hearts to feel need and longing, and hands to do the work of repair. We are here, in the words of Dr. Ron Wolfson, to finish God's to-do list. We are here to do justice. And finally, all justice is social, because the very act of working towards it, of striving for it, strengthens the fabric of our society. I didn't know Walter Scott when he was murdered on April 4th. I didn't know his friends or family, or certainly any of the string of reporters who descended on North Charleston as the circumstances of the tragic event unfolded. But as a result of my work in the Charleston Area Justice Ministry, I knew the ministers who stood up and said, "This isn't right." I knew members of his community who rallied with their support. And I knew that this wasn't an isolated incident, but the worst-case scenario that had been feared by members of the Justice Ministry who had shared their personal experiences of racial profiling and police aggression. Because of the relationships I had built doing the work of justice, tragedy didn't do what it so often does and drive a wedge between a perceived us and them. It revealed a network of shared care and concern and strengthened the resolve within each of us to redouble our efforts. Friends, all justice is social, because as I've been preaching my own community with increasing volume and frequency as of late, this sage teaching of our tradition may be the most important of all. If we treat everyone, as if he or she is the Messiah, it won't matter if the Messiah chooses to reveal him or herself or not. We will have already realized the world that a Messiah comes to create. So friends, let's get to work.